Okay, so if you're watching this video, it's because you want to know what's the best camera to start your YouTube channel. And you probably watched a dozen videos just like I did. Just to give you some preference, I've been doing YouTube for about 8 to 9 months now, and none of these resources, as nice as they are 100% honest or 100% up to date. There's always things missing with the information, which is why I have so many cameras in front of me right now. That being said, I made all the mistakes so you guys can buy the right camera the first time. Now on my channel, I don't bullshit people. I'm not selling you anything. Maybe in the future there'll be affiliate links, but for now it's just honest, straight information. So if you want to get a camera in 2023 or 2024, which one of these cameras should you go for? I've got 4 cameras in front of me. All these cameras are a little different, and the answer is it depends on your budget. Now, I hate when people say it depends on your budget, because what the fuck does that mean? Like, my budget might be $100, but if I save money for a month, it might be $1,000. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, if your budget isn't at least $2,000, don't buy a camera. I'm being completely honest with you. Don't buy a camera. Save your money to get $2,000 so you can buy everything you need to do it once and do it right. That being said, if you don't have $2,000 and you still want another solution, I'll give it to you at the end of the video. So without further ado, the answer to what camera should you get to start your YouTube channel is the Sony a7C. It's this guy right here. Now, there's a couple reasons why I recommend this camera over any other camera that you see on this table or any other camera that might be available on the market. And this isn't a dedicated video about the specs and the breakdown of the camera. It's just my honest feedback. Because like I said, I spent my hard-earned money and my time trying out all these cameras. And there's one camera, this goes for any device, by the way. There's something that you constantly grab for to make content and you know it's the right solution. So the Sony a7C. The Sony a7C, if you look at that sensor right there, that's a full frame sensor, which means that it's gonna deliver you the best image. Okay, what does best image mean? That's kind of subjective. Best image in terms of professional looking image. If you know how to use the camera, this is it. It's going to give you the out of focus areas. It's going to give you a nice high quality image. And that's what we're looking for. You can put full frame and crop sensor lenses on here. We'll get to the lenses in a sec. But this body right here, it is small. It is compact. It has a flip out screen, which is super important. It charges via USB-C, which makes your life super easy. It has an SD card that's on the side, which means you can just pop your SD card out right here instead of having to pull it out from the battery door all the time. That's great. Super important. It has a headphone jack for audio out, and it has a headphone jack as well for monitoring, which is great, which is important for when you do video. I put an L bracket on here. As you can see, this piece of metal right here is called an L bracket. You put it on there and you can shoot content horizontally or vertically, okay? So very versatile, small, compact camera. And size matters when you're making content. If you don't have a big space or you don't want to carry a heavy bag, maybe you're vlogging, this camera's it. Now, of course, the Sony a7C is not a perfect camera, but it is perfect for 99% of creators starting out. You can grow into this camera. It is amazing. Yes, there are newer versions of the Sony a7C. There's newer versions of this. There's a Sony a7C II, but what I recommend is you get the Sony a7C Gen 1, the first generation one, save some money on this camera, and then spend the rest of the money on the lens. You don't need the newest one with the AI software and the tracking of this. If you're doing talking head videos or top-down videos like this camera's great. So that's camera number 1. Let's go to the next camera. Let's say you don't like the a7C. You can't get an a7C for a good price around you, but maybe you can get an FX30. Now, the FX30 is a great camera as well. Again, I still like the Sony a7C better, and I actually have these cameras. I use them on a daily basis to produce content. I like the Sony FX30 as a crash cam. That means if I had one camera and I was gonna travel the world and take a camera with me and I was worried about its durability and I wanted something that was tanky, I would sacrifice some of the flexibility of size for this camera because it is an amazing camera for the price. The price on this is awesome. It's about $1,600. You can probably find it for $1,300, similar to the Sony a7C. It has a lot of cool cinema features. It can shoot in some nice high-res modes. Not that you need that, but this camera also has a full HDMI port, which is a nice touch. It has the headphone and monitoring, and it has USB-C for charging. It hits a lot of the boxes that you would need for a full-frame camera, especially if you're doing a top-down video like this. You might not want a full frame camera sensor because there's too much depth of field. I'd rather have the FX30, which is a crop sensor, which keeps more stuff in focus. The FX30, amazing camera, good controls, tanky build if I'm in a tough environment, like if I'm taking this out of the house regularly. Now here's the iPhone. Now the iPhone is a great camera. People can use this to shoot amazing stuff, but if you're gonna shoot YouTube videos, you don't want to use your iPhone. It's a headache to shoot on your iPhone. You can't see what you're filming because the best camera is on the back, not the front. Maybe if you have the newer iPhone, that's a little bit different, but realistically, it's a pain to shoot with this. You can, it's possible, especially if you're doing cinematic stuff or even top-down stuff like this, you can do it. But for talking head videos, I would not recommend the iPhone. Realistically, if you are on a super tight budget, I told you I had a mystery camera for you. That mystery camera is a ZV-1F. The ZV-1F has an f2 aperture 20mm equivalent lens, which is perfect for vlogging or talking head videos. It'll give you some depth of field as well. So it's not a bad option. That's another solution for you, the ZV-1F. If you wanted the convenience of USB-C, a headphone jack, and no headaches in terms of getting a lens, because we haven't talked about a lens. Your lens will make or break your camera. The lens is sometimes even more important than the camera because I can take either of these lenses and slap them on any of those camera bodies and get an amazing image. Now, there's a lot of people who like to go with the Sigma 16mm f1.4. That is a massive, huge, expensive lens. I do not recommend it. There are better solutions that people out there do not talk about. And one of those solutions, I'll share the first one, is a Samyang 12mm lens. So this Samyang 12mm f2 is an amazing lens. It's wider than that 16. It's not as fast, but it'll still give you a nice, sharp, in-focus image. And it's lightweight. It doesn't weigh anything, which again goes with the philosophy that the smaller and lighter something is, the easier it is for you to use. The next lens that I don't have, it is a crop sensor lens. The Yugno 16mm f1.8. That lens is awesome. I had it for a small time. I returned it. I didn't appreciate it for what it was. And I would totally get that lens for $288 over this 12mm one, if I had one choice, if it's available in your area. Now, the 12 and the 16mm give you about a 20 or 18 or 24mm focal equivalent because this is a crop sensor lens. And that's okay to do on the full frame body. If you can combine this 12mm lens on this Sony A7C, you get this really nice compact package that's discreet and easy to use. Same thing with that 16mm Yugno lens. That's 1.8. That one might be a little better because it gives you a faster lens, which gives you more depth of field on this full frame / crop sensor. And then just because you guys are probably going to ask, this is my Samyang 24mm Cine lens. I bought this combo early on. This combo is a monster with the Sony A7C. You can probably get this combo for under 2 Gs and have beautiful cinematic talking head videos. I love that combo. Typically what I do is I do the FX30 with the 12mm when I'm out and about. If I have to vlog, like I said, I have 2 of these right now. So yeah, I hope this gives you a solution for when you are trying to buy cameras. Do not buy any of the newest and the latest Sony cameras. It is not worth it. Pick up something used or like the FX30 if you want something new, and invest in the right lens. This camera combo will help you produce the best content that you can. So just to wrap this up, if you're gonna buy a camera and you don't have a budget of $2,000 saved up, and I say $2,000 so you can get a camera, a lens, and audio equipment, which we didn't talk about audio, but stay tuned, I'll do an audio one. Save up to $2,000 before you start buying stuff. Pick up the Sony A7C for the most beautiful image, high resolution, best image you can get. Pick up the Sony A7C, and then that 16mm Yugno lens or this 12mm right here, one of those two. That's it, and you're set on the video aspect. Straightforward, clear, to the point. I'm not gonna drag this out. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2 of this video where I talk about audio solutions. There's a couple audio solutions that I have that work really well and other creators are not recommending it, and I think it's unfair because they're selling you something that doesn't work. But this audio solution, I'm gonna put the video somewhere around here. Check it out and you'll have your answers. All right, stay tuned. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and remember, if I win, you win.